fun, playful way. I enjoy starting out with like a grounding meditation, whatever we feel is present to connect our energies in this container. Is there anything you would like to express, or would you like me to guide?
I'm trusting that it's flowing. I am just open and here. And I know that the intention and just grounding in that, trusting.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Breathing in to those intentions and the grounding, inhaling deeply, feeling our roots grow deeper into Mother Earth below us on each inhale. Exhaling, connecting to the Father Sky. Inhaling the roots deep down into Mother Earth. Exhaling to Father Sky. Inhaling to Mother Earth. And exhaling out, releasing. Calling in our higher selves, which we're already embodying in this now moment. Having gratitude for this beautiful connection where we're on this beautiful journey where we get to explore and co-create together wherever we are led on our individual journeys and our unified journey as Source Creator. And to just remember to play and have fun and co-create wherever we are being guided through this now moment. With our open hearts, our open minds, our open ego, allowing to just be and experience this joy and happiness in this moment together. Inhaling again to close, deeply inhaling, and exhale. When you're ready, coming back.
Yes. Thank you.
I love your style. I love in the hat, the overalls. This is so great.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. I'm so thankful that we did that. I feel much more grounded. I'm very, very, very excited.
Yeah. So what you want to know about how I started? What can you share a little bit more of like?
Yeah,
like how did those come into the story?
Yeah, right. So right now I just felt like really much intuition of what you were talking about. And I know that we had talked about a little bit of branding and business wise a little bit in the DMs. And there was just like this click in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, like Becca's supposed to be doing this with me. And it was just like, oh, okay, like it's supposed to be supporting each other and supporting all of those brands and businesses. And it was just like, yeah, like sources speaking. I was just like, yeah. So in my mind, that's why I was like, we need to talk and just, feel out the situation and scope out, I guess, what would be the best way to just flow with that intention and allow the energy to move in that direction. So that in my mind, I was just like, whoa, like we're supposed to help people with their brands and like set up a really beautiful structure for these people and share it with them and like really allow the collective right now, especially during all this time when everyone's leaving work, to assist them with building their own businesses to help set up that sacred economy. So that in my mind, I was like, yes, yes.
Beautiful.
lo and behold, like you just popped out, and I was like, I don't usually go on lives unless I feel like the urge, and I was just like, whoa, I feel the urge to look, and I was like, I'm so thankful I did, because yes, you're just like so on point with everything you were sharing, and I was like, oh my gosh, you already know, so yeah, so that's pretty much why I was like, I need to talk to Becca right now, just to get to know her more and to understand, yeah, so yeah,
Thank
I
you.
sound crazy, but I'm just thankful it's
Not
more of
at
an intuitive.
all. I totally understand. That's how it all flows for me as well. And even more synchronistically, I haven't been on lives like rarely in months. And then recently I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I'm doing this. I don't know. Yep. Just following the flow, the guidance. So thank you for following your intuition and celebrating us both for really embodying that. You know, we share it, we express it to others, and then to really embody and see what magic is like presented right in front of us. And even more beautifully, my team and I just had a meeting less than an hour ago, and we just wrapped up after 2.5 hour session of reestablishing our vision because there's 5 of us in the collective leading. And so with SBA, Spiritual Business Alchemy, that's one thing, but we also have Oshun, which is a collective movement. And we were just speaking so much about how we want to lead, embody, and support. And it's not even about the business, it's really just about how do we support and serve and show up with love and compassion, creating a safe place for people to be heard and understood without feeling judged, and showing up fully as divinity, and to reflect that into each other as like, I already see your divine self, I see your dreams, and I so support you, and to anchor in that possibility that anything's possible. And so we just had a really beautiful coming together. Like I felt like a very refreshed team. Like, and of course now you're discussing this with me, and so
This is the sign, girl. This is the
yeah,
sign.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Yeah. So in this present moment, yeah, even now, what's present for you? The last moment there was a question, is
Wow.
that still present or something else?
Yeah, I'm like really curious. I've just met you. Well, I've been following you for a while now. So I'm really curious, like, why did you start doing what you do in terms of like the business consulting and everything? Like building a team is so awesome, but like, why? What was the spark or that action?
Yeah, a lot of reflecting on it. Thank you. Initially, in the moment I was in, I was the classical story of being in a corporate job and being very successful in my sales career. And then through that, diving into the self and that exploration. So my current reality was not matching the heart's desire, the soul's desire. And that's when I started to make those transitions and start to follow my intuition and spirit. So that was about 3 years ago when I had taken that first step in starting a podcast, Follow Your Heart podcast. And I interviewed so many people. Like every single week I was on an interview for like a year straight of souls that were like different healers and speakers and guides, just like seeing what's possible and looking at different realities that people can anchor in and different paradigms of being. And so then I already knew I wanted to be a coach, but I wanted to, like, I wasn't ready. And so after that, I hired a coach, and then she helped me evolve into that. The biggest inspiration I see is shifting the paradigm of what business is and how we relate and communicate, and just having a deep knowing. Like I've been in, working for Fortune 500 companies, been in consulting roles, been in sales. I've met with countless executives and been able to sit in front of very powerful people and just asking them so many questions about their business. And what always felt out of alignment was like, we're forgetting the purpose in all of this. Like there's no human in this transaction. And it's so deeply like that was the inspiration of like, how can I serve others in a way that feels more aligned and heart-centered, in the way that we embody ourselves and express ourselves and serve each other through the vehicle of business.
Whoa. Yeah. That is so cool. So like before then, like you were working at a Fortune 500 and it's like your soul is like, it's not aligned. There's no human. That is so cool. And especially right now, it's like more prominent than ever, which is incredible. Really, really cool. Because it's like so many people to serve at the same time. There's like so much confusion as well. So that is so cool. So like, wow. So you, I'm assuming like quit your job and started working, or were you like working and then like eventually was like fall away? Like what was like the transition from like that corporate world to where you are now?
Yeah, going back to that, the initial moment when I was like, okay, this is screaming at me, it's time to transition, um, was when it was like, I think I was 25, about to be 26, and that was like the peak of my career. So I'd been like invited to this very fancy celebration for people that are top performers in sales. And, went to the Ritz and spent this lavish week of wine and dine, fancy ballroom dresses. And it was like, in my soul, it was like, Becca, it's time. It's time. This is not, it didn't feel, I mean, it's beautiful to be able to accelerate and live life. And also it just did not feel aligned. So that's when I quit that job, which was like projecting the gate, earn me like a quarter to $500,000 in the next year. And that was like the big moments, like Spirit's like, you have two paths. Which one? The unknown, where like your soul is lit up, but you have no idea where you're going. Or you can see all these people in front of you that are drinking and celebrating and talking about money constantly. And it feels like there's more to this life. And so I just got a glimpse of that and I was like, okay. So then after that, I called in another job that was more aligned to my values. And I worked with a startup in sales, and it gave me the freedom to start my business on the side. So it was a progression. After a year, I was working full time in sales while building my business evenings and weekends. And I was just so passionate about it. It was like I was pouring in every moment of that. And I was going to quit, like projected 6 months out. But then a friend and I did a retreat in California. And that was the moment. It was like, you think you have 6 months, you're quitting now. And I did. And that was like pretty close before COVID.
Wow. Oh, wow. So it's like the train's leaving. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, that is so cool though. Ah, that is so cool. So
I love your
of
excitement.
course,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm like, whoa. Again, there's like literally those two options. And yes, I can feel the passion. I totally see like in all that you create, like on Instagram, on YouTube, like you're just like all over the place, like creating. And it is so cool. I definitely like, I honor it because, like the passion is like driving. And yes, yes. Oh my goodness. So currently, what do you do? I know that you just mentioned you got off of a call with like your other members. So I'd love to know more about like how that works or how it's structured.
Thank you. Maybe you can give some visions and insights as well as it's unfolding. Like a year and a half ago, it was a strong, clear message that it was so much beyond me as is what the industry had said as a coach. This is how it looks and this is how you do it. And it's like the biggest mantra I got last year in 2020 was better together. And so everything was about connection. And I was seeing that in my external reality. I moved to Nicaragua and was surrounded by this amazing soul family community on a little island. And we were dancing naked together and cacao ceremonies and so free. And then I felt there's like such a gap in like these realities that I was living. And so yeah, I was like, how do I do this but I enjoy it? It's not just like me working on my computer all day. It's teaching clients through Zoom. It's just amazing. And I felt like I wanted to be able to co-create with others. And so that's when I still desired to support souls who are stepping into being of service through a business. So that's when we created Spiritual Business Alchemy SBA a year and a half ago, or maybe a year ago. Yeah. And that's been the container that's consistently been there. So it's really working with like what you would label define a starseed light worker. And then either getting started or have a business and they're really looking for the support to, from one lens, grow it, but really what the definition of this container is expansion, evolution of the soul, like fully embodying seeing a divinity in each other without the limitations of the fears, ego, thoughts, guilt, shame, like all of that. Like it's activating each other. That's what it is. Yeah. Like it's business, but we all know it's so beyond business.
Yeah.
It's highly, yeah.
That is so cool. Okay. See, like, I know I've been watching you for a while. And yeah, I haven't been very familiar with the services that you have offered. Though I like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, she like totally like helps people with their business and like set it up in alignment and it's all like beautiful. And I was like, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, like, in terms of your role in the business, like, what do you, I guess, enjoy doing or day to day your responsibilities and how that feels?
Thank you. I am so grateful for this conversation. It's also allowed me to surrender and to receive and respond. So I'm grateful for you to be inquisitive and curious. So I reflect on this question quite often and see what really brings inspiration and joy in me. And I just had a conversation with my team on this as we reflected to each other. Was I love to create containers, bringing souls together, initiating. Like I can see the vision so clearly of something that wants to be birthed, and I'm not afraid to take action on starting it. Like, and really, I see creating experiences that have not been seen or created before, something that's very different and out there with souls that are very unique. And so my inspiration comes from creating, inspiring, and starting something. Like bringing the people together and then stepping back and letting them like create the show. It's like being the like magician. Yes, thank you.
Yes,
but like not being like,
literally.
follow me. It's like, okay, you guys got it. Now I'm gonna sit back and watch the show and just love and support. Yeah, so I really love working with the energies of individuals. So a lot of networking, connecting, serving souls so that way they see their infinite possibility and potential without the limitations of what society has said or what programs have been put in. That's really a gift and something I've sat with so many people one-on-one and allowed to listen to their story and allowed to have them believe in their own dreams as much as I believe in it for them. Yeah. Yes. The other stuff, like just talking to people and creating spaces, like of course the businessy things, like I love messaging and communicating. And I also do feel my passion is when like we're there, we're present, like a lot of the other behind the scenes things, I really enjoy having others do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like just put me in front of someone and they will have a transformation. Or I have a vision, let's put this together into a small group and it will happen. People will cry and lives will be changed.
That is the main betterment.
Like, yeah.
Wow. Yes. So, okay, so this is more of a question on like, what does abundance mean to you in terms of like energetically? You've worked with finances and sales and marketing. So, like, reflecting on that, what does abundance mean to you?
Oh my gosh, this question, right? It's it's like I have the theory, the concept, and then the ever-changing relationship to abundance. I'd say conceptually, what I have been playing with is a reminder that, like, I'm learning this even more deeply in this course I'm taking that's about mastering your mind. It's about going beyond the ego, the mind, into our divinity, into unity. And what I'm really playing with is okay, the ego, the mind is creating lack, but that's an illusion because all there is abundance. And I do still see I'm working through deep programmings because of the level of wealth and money I have been able to been gifted by the universe. I really feel it was like, here you go, you need this for the next thing, but hold on to it and use it. But also with that, it's like still the old programs can run where it's like, okay, like abundance. And then sometimes it's like, oh, but I need to hold on to it. But it's like, no, it's ever flowing. So the concept in the mind, I really see abundance is all that there is, and it's constantly flowing and evolving through different different forms. Abundance is love, it is happiness, joy, and I can also see abundance as well from more of a practical way, a resource in order to create. And it's really helpful to have land and start planting trees and a
You
garden.
gotta
Like
go
it's literally,
farm, you know?
yeah,
It's
it's
that
really
time.
teaching me like, whoa, like especially with the evolution of what's happening right now. More people are moving out of cities. They're learning to grow their own food. It's like in front of me, this is abundance. Like I'm planting a plant, and my boyfriend just planted 2,000 trees in the last year. And he's like, within the first year, he already grew avocado and guava. And I'm like, he's like showing me that's abundance, feeding families. And it's ever evolving. She's giving back, we're giving to her. So, long story short,
Yes.
yeah, different levels of it.
Oh, I love that you said like it's ever changing because it's just like a quick download for me about like, wow, it's always expanding. And if we try to hold on to it, then we're restricting that expansion. But it really is like when we let go, we still have more to hold on to, but you allow that to grow. So, whoa, yes.
Beautifully said.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so exciting. We're living during really exciting times. And I'm
Yeah.
just, yeah, right? It's like, whoa. I thought this was only for movies.
Right. But this is our movie. We've created this movie too because other people are watching a different movie right now. And ours are like, this is so magical.
It really is. It really is. Oh my goodness. Oh, but yeah, on my heart, like, I'm just gonna say intuitively, I feel like you're meant to help a lot of people with understanding this abundance. Like, that's what clicked, and so I'm, I guess, a messenger in this case, and just it's coming through. Um, and now I'm just like, whoa, okay, source. So that's a message really wanted to share. Like, there's so many people at this time that are looking for this opportunity. And I'm just gonna drop this question in like, what do you feel like people currently are struggling with most when it comes to abundance?
I've reflected on this, and there's two things coming. Let me just write pointers. Thank you. Wow, you're such an angel. I just want to like say that. Like, thank you. I love you and appreciate you. Thank you. And with that, so the struggles. Okay. And so what I have seen through many reflections on this is one part is really our shifting consciousness, and that goes back to the stories, beliefs, memories, the ego, the mind. So the biggest root is the stories we've been taught and the stories we tell each other of lack. Ego being fear, lack. It's here to protect us. So how can we understand our mind in order to see beyond those illusions? I also see that there is an imprisonment of the belief that like this world is concrete and not a creation of our mind. So once we become the creator of the reality and creator itself, the dreamer in the dream, then everything we're thinking is manifested. And that's also the caveat, right? Of like, oh, well, abundance then, if I know I'm a creator, the law of attraction, I'm going to go create a Ferrari. Beautiful. And as we dissolve these old ways of thinking, that Ferrari becomes 10,000 fruit trees. Whoa. You know? So that's the I guess the linchpin, one thing. The other I'm seeing is what I saw in myself was understanding all of the forms of abundance through, my friend calls, there's the artificial world and the natural world. So not as many are in the natural world. We're living in artificial cities and structures. For them to physically experience it or to have an understanding, what other ways can I see abundance and experience that? Because then it's like, I was given one program and story, but abundance isn't just $1 million job or a house. Whoa, I'm going out in nature, I'm seeing abundance everywhere. And then that's reprogramming the mind as well. So it's getting out of the artificial world and into the natural world again.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. It's like we have to make all of this stuff, and then it's like you got to take away, and like it's just, it's like it's already there. Wow. So this is just like you mentioned a little bit for yourself, like talking about the natural and artificial. Like what was that limiting belief that you addressed that for you was like, I'm changing, like this is, yeah, like if it was a mantra.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. The mantra that helped me, and I think there's an evolution of the process. The mantra that I repeated over and over through the course was, abundance is all that there is. And so then it's the assumption that lack does not exist. So I would repeat that to myself and then start to see, once again, my eyes are then looking for that evidence. Wow, I'm surrounded by abundance of trees. And like even right now I'm looking out and there's a coconut tree right there and there's a beautiful lime tree right there and clouds. And I'm like, whoa. So that mantra. And then the story that my friend shared, one of my teacher mentors, sisters, Esther Joy, she was reminding me, she said, so not even just the story and the mantra. She said, okay, look at the artificial world. And I'm using her references of these words because she's taught me this. Look at the artificial world. Right now, in the economy, we are going through an economic crash. And even in 2008, 2009, there's another crash. Then the mind thinks the economy is down. That means there was less money. Fear and lack creep in. So what do people do? They hold and store, like, the Cold War, the Depressions, other wars, like putting stuff under the freezer. Yeah. And holding on until I might die. I might not have food. And that's been the past stories. And remembering though, in those moments, the artificial world is telling us there's lack. But if you look externally into the natural law, does the banana plant stop producing fruit? Do all of the plants stop growing because they say, oh, we're in an economic crisis, I must stop producing? No, naturally, it's always producing. So, and money's always being printed. So it's that reminder that it's the illusion that there is lack. Even in moments when we're being told a story, there's a crisis, there's not enough money, people are getting fired, all these stories, the abundance is always there. It's just evolving.
That's so beautiful and so true. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, it's like when you are in the artificial world, or just watching the news, just kind of in that web, it's like so easy to feel so helpless, and like everything that entity is telling you is true. You know, you have to work to survive, and you have to do this specifically. Like, gotta do something that you don't like and you're not gonna be happy about. It's gonna make you unhealthy because that's how you're gonna survive and become
Yeah.
abundant and stable. And it's like, whoa. But like you said, like we don't tell the trees, like you have to produce apples right now. No, it's like, yeah, wow. That's just clicking. It's clicking for me as well, like as you share. So yeah,
What
wow.
do you think from what you're saying? I felt that personally, like being in it, then it's easy to believe those stories. How does one
Mm,
mm, either create enough, like, what's that process
mm.
like, you would say, without?
Ooh, to like remove from the artificial. Yeah. Well, I think that for the case of like reflecting on a lot of the people currently in the world, I feel like it would first have to start with them listening to their soul and being like, okay, you know, like these two paths are here for me. And then as soon as they're considering that path of the more natural world, having that support, having that confirmation that yes, your soul is rejoicing because you've connected back to source. And I think really ultimately that is like having that immediate, we are humans, we like, what is it, constant gratification or FAS? So having a sense of like, you are not alone. It is okay to be a little worried because you're removing yourself from the artificial and integrating back into the natural, but we are all here to support you and we have all been there before. So I think that really is something that is a little scary because like a lot of people, even you don't see people that work a lot of these jobs. Maybe they'll be like working there for 10, 20, 30 years and it's like, whoa, where are the people that quit? They're not there anymore. You have to, you know, turn away and see those people that are there to support. So yeah. Hmm. I'm thinking like how, as souls that are kind of brought here to help, you know, with that kind of integrating into the natural world. We cannot, well, we can't make anyone change their minds. It's like when their mind is made up is when we come through. But what, generally speaking, would you say is the most important thing? Like you started your own business. What helped you along that path the most?
Mm-hmm. Mm. In that moment, I would say, yeah, just continuing to show up and to share passion, truly, just excitement. Yeah, just having so much excitement, enthusiasm for life. And yeah, continuously showing up. Didn't even know where I was going. I still don't. I don't think I never will.
Ecstasy, no one knows. Yeah, it's just a roller coaster.
Yeah. And that really
Yes.
takes the pressure off of it too. It's like, and then once I really got past that, like, oh, it's changing in this and changing again. It's like, oh, it's always changing. Okay. Well, what's present now and serving within that container. Um, when I see through an example of one of my business partners, Sarah, she's, well, everyone is amazing. And she is so like just living the embodiment of her highest self in every now moment. she really serves from passion first. Like she she calls herself an energy amplifier, and she really helps amplify all the things we have in the container, just like sprinkling her magic everywhere. And one of the things she like really wanted to uncover more of her spiritual gifts, so she activated light language. And she was super excited about it. And she's like, whenever she explores something, she like shares it with the world. Just
Yes.
like it's totally normal. And so she started to share, send messages to her friends, send messages to our group. One of her teammates who's like going to the Olympics, she's been supporting him for swimming. And she's like using light language on him. And now people are like, Sarah, can I pay you for this? This is super helpful. And so it was like that natural inspiration. It's just like, here it is. I give it to the world.
Yes. That is so beautiful. Yes. Yes. And light language really is just this expression of our souls just coming through the bodies, and we're just channeling it out. Whoa, that is so cool. Yes. And I feel like light language verbally, I'm doing like a course, and I'm sharing a course on light language, right? And so interesting because like researching it, there are so many different forms: art, music, like people who actually create things with their hands a lot of the times, like that is their form of light language because it's expressing a part of their soul and like allowing it to be expressed and seen in the physical world. And that is just so cool. And I feel like a lot of these businesses are also coming from a place, even if it's a PowerPoint presentation. For me, I see that like certain energy that's coming off of, if it's like coming from that place of soul and that higher self, like it is light language to me. And I see all of these businesses as a form of, all of these services are light language. Well, I call it light language, but it's just that form of like, that's their higher selves, right? Like channeling through. And when you do that, it's amazing. It's amazing to me. I'm just like, whoa, that's like amazing. Like, of course, because you value what you're doing and you value the connection that you're expressing, and what you're creating is actually helping others through so many ways, and other people are valuing it as well. So yes, yes. And everyone has to shine their light during these times. It's like all hands on deck kind of thing.
I so feel that. So what's coming through for you? I know there's much more that you can be expressing too. What's present for you? What messages are you getting?
Whoa. Okay. So my mind is like calming down. They're like, oh my gosh, so excited for what is ever to come in the future. But right now, I'm like, okay, breathe. I tend to get a bit like skipping the steps or like going a year in advance. And it's like, okay, right now I'm just breathing. In my heart though, I really feel like just as like action wise, my soul is like, okay, amazing, yes, confirmation. The light language is coming through in the form of the services that are being presented, and I'm just setting the intention that in the perfect timing, this imaginary product right now, because I'm not sure, this imaginary service is being created right now for these people that we've talked about that are transferring their energy over to the more natural world. So that's like what I feel.
Yeah. What are some of the visions, ideas, downloads you've been getting around this container product brand?
So I am going into my last year of college at the end of this month, and I'm super duper excited because I just want to get out of there. But a lot of this has been, I've been looking at branding a lot and consulting and marketing, and I feel like those things are for some people really intimidating, and marketing I feel like always gets a really bad rap with salespeople or whatnot, and even though it's so needed and such a necessary part of life. But anyways, that's a little side note. I really know that something with like a branding boot camp, something with people and like getting them to build that community. Because most of the people I talk with, they all have these projects that they love and they're really happy about doing, but when it comes to presenting it to other people or finding the way to share it and to ensure that they're serving others, it's like the lines are always blurry. And yeah, looking into how can we serve them? Why are we here together today? And
Yeah.
what does that look like? But yes, ultimately, I go to school for interaction design and I design apps. So in the back of my mind, I've always thought it would be super cool to assist somehow in creating an app for, you know, businesses and services to be easily accessible, like a social media platform for businesses in a way. And it's just been in my mind and it just keeps growing. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Not sure about the timeline for that, but right now I just want to learn as much as possible
Mhm.
and to see like how could I serve others, how could they serve me, how does this vision like tie into that, and I don't know what that would look like, but the vision is like it's a feeling, it feels really good, it feels really good because of how it would help the community and earth and just taking back that abundance and putting it in the places that I think are really needed right
Yeah.
now. But yeah, that on my heart, I think that's why I was like, oh my gosh, I got it back. Oh, you're like in the vision. So yeah, of course, of course. So I
So
have no
thinking,
idea, to be honest. Like you said, it's just kind of source is just working through us, and
yeah,
we're just like working through it. So yeah, how do you feel about that? Like,
it's really beautiful. I remember when you were sharing your voice messages around that vision. And I was like, whoa, that's exactly like the messages I've been receiving and the vision and this collective app and platform community was a vision that my business partner Michael and I had seen so clearly. And that's Ocean Collective, the goddess of Sweetwater. And she's a deity. And so we have not only SBA, the business container, but Ocean Collective is really what we're working on creating this movement, this
like a
collective, this community.
community. Yes.
Yeah. And so Michael just came back into to mentor and guide us. He's an amazing, amazing, highly evolved soul and really experienced in business. And just the other day, I'm telling him my vision. I was like, hey, I want to get you caught up on what I'm seeing. And I'm going to read the message to you from yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. He said, what is coming up for me is what could be a merger between Mind Valley platform and the other platform that does like courses and training videos, allowing people to upload courses. Oshun does the marketing registration and the contenter gets paid. And then he said, let's unpack and sit with this. You might need to find a web app developer to create the iTunes, Google Play app that could run everything you're visioning. And for me, what's always aligned for us is, does it still also see the same vision of, you know, if we're creating someone, they're putting their energy into it and their beliefs. So who feels aligned? And I was like, I don't know any web developers. But I kept going back to our conversation, what you shared about your vision. So I'm like, I know we'll work together and partner. I just don't know how that's going to look yet.
Yeah.
And what you share, like, even for myself included, and it's so present for me that we don't fully know how to present everything and to share it. Like you asking these questions, like I'm asking my team, like, do people really know what we're doing? And to have that clear communication, like what's really going on? How can I be a part of that? That's also where we're calling in help. How can we really clearly communicate these brands? And
Wow.
yeah.
God, that's
Are you
so
my love?
cool. Yes, this is so cool. The universe is really conspiring over here. Like, whoa. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I know that during this school semester, try not to put on any more projects, but I'm like, this is call is happening for a reason. And I know by the time I want to graduate, I want to be able to invest my time in something that I know is going to be successful. So taking the time to like scale out, like, what does that look like? Who is this for? Why? um, and hopefully throughout the semesters, for my senior project, I'll be able to slowly understand what the structure of that would be for my senior project. So, that is, this is just so cool. I trust like the vision is only going to get more and more refined from here and actualize. But wow, I'm just gonna throw no expectations. I just leave it to the universe and how it unfolds, trusting that it's gonna be perfect the way it goes. Um, but yeah, Becca, that's so crazy and so cool. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So divine. Mhm. Yeah. We're, I feel, and we haven't fully communicated, but I feel we have very similar visions of what we feel is happening and what we're being called to create, to support. And yeah, I'm wondering where you want to, like, from what I shared and expressed, is there any part where you're like, oh my gosh, I could do this, this, and this, or this really inspires me? Like, what's initially coming through for you?
Well, I'm totally inspired to like continue stay connected, see how at this time can best serve each other and share like some of those questions that I feel for me personally, right? Like as the brand, I feel like we know what we're doing or we kind of do. So when other people are looking at you, brought up such a good point, never really sure if they know what we're doing. And that's like that's a really big one, but one that I'm really thankful and I feel like feeling led to say is something that I'm looking forward to support you in that way of, I guess, refining it. Um, both ways like a mirror. And yeah, oh, my mind's kind of going blank. It's just like, wow, universe is really like doing all this right now. Just like, whoa.
Right. It's in the human, but it's also not. It's just like, okay, we're watching this play out. And as soon as you're gonna have to call, so many other things are
Yeah, yeah.
happening.
But definitely going to stay in touch with you, Becca. Um, time wise, I think if there's ever a time where we intuitively feel like we need to talk about it, um, and then it would be cool to possibly have a just probably maybe doing like surveys, just getting where the audience is at in terms of like, and this is something I've been meaning to do for a while, but I feel like speaking with you really sparks that accountability for the audience and who we're serving. So that is, I'm so thankful for. So I definitely want to just use this energy that we have created in this space to really get to know the audience that we are going to be serving with this vision at this time. And occasionally checking in with each other. And then I feel like probably in like, I want to say 8-ish months. I don't know why that's the number that's coming, but yeah, really taking all that the engagement, all that the community has given us as we build it and bringing it together. Hopefully, and it would just be really cool to possibly do like a workshop or a branding workshop to help not only our brands in refining them, but also other people and just like directing them to a source where they can kind of kickstart their beginnings. Well, yeah, that's okay. Those are just thoughts in my mind. And yeah, I'm so thankful that you took the time out of your day to like just make this call work and speak with me. I really, really appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Thank you for allowing to be the mirror and to also initiate this conversation. Yeah.
Yes.
Many
Mm.
things that are being activated, reminded. Yeah.
Mm.
Is there anything that I can do to serve you, to support you?
I want to say thank you already. I feel very supported in this space. And it's brought so much for me in terms of accountability. I'm setting the intention with this energy moving forward as it unfolds that it will inspire accountability with our own brands and our own businesses and also our audience and our clients. And
Mm-hmm.
just setting that intention that it will assist in that way. And yeah, Becca, you're so awesome. Like I really appreciate and respect you and all that you're doing. It is so cool and like getting to know your story. Like my mind is kind of blown. I'm like, whoa, that's pretty intense. You following your passion and that's and like that's just so
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Thank you. You too. You're totally a mirror and reflection of me. What you're doing in school, and then creating, showing up, sharing light language, activating souls. Like, yes,
Mm.
you're very inspiring
Mm.
yourself. I will say this is something my friend did as an extra boost for you. So, I was in her kitchen one day, and she asked me, "What do you want for dinner? I'm going to cook you dinner." And I said, "Well, like, I don't know." And she said, "Okay, the universe is offering you anything you want to eat. What do you want right now? No limitation." And instantly, vegan sushi. I haven't had sushi in like over a year because we're in Nicaragua and there's not very many like resources for that. Cool. I have all the ingredients. She starts making me vegan sushi, like the best sushi I've had. And it was that reminder anything is possible. So I'll ask you the question again. Anything is possible to serve you. What would you what would you like to order right now?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have everything. The universe is so good. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Oh. Hmm. Whoa, Becca. Um, that's such a beautiful question. Okay. 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 So, oh my gosh. Okay, accountability call is coming to mind.
Mm.
That is what is coming to mind. Yeah, that's like big time. I don't know if you've heard of mandalas, but that was what's coming to mind in terms of like the structure of a mandala is very much like accountability wise. So, yes, it would be amazing to have maybe a monthly accountability call. Nothing like too crazy, nothing too fast, but just tuning in, I think, and reflecting on like the brand for right now and like the audience insights and sharing that with each other. Yes. I think right now, just in accountability to the brand, that is what's coming to my mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in. Absolutely. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Yes. It's a gift from both sides to give and to receive. Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
inspired action. When is the first one?
Okay, that is good. This was the first one, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes, yes. What day of the week would be the best time? Like,
Mhm.
okay. My Tuesdays are always looking very nice. Maybe the last Tuesday of the month.
Okay. How about,
Wow.
oh, yeah. You can start on the 31st?
Yes.
Okay.
That was oh my goodness. Oh my
I'm going to
goodness. Okay.
There we go.
And I think this was gonna be for the momentum of the energy, the vision.
Exactly. We're creating space and a container for it to continue.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I got the email. Whoa, Becca, you're awesome. Action steps for me sometimes are a bit like you're already helping me a lot with that. I appreciate action steps. They help a lot with directing the momentum in the right place.
That's what I'm here for. Guiding
Thank
the
you
water
so
in the
much.
water. You're welcome.
Oh
Thank
my
you. This is such a
gosh.
gift as well.
Fun. This is so cool. Okay, yes. So I'm very excited to continue to connect and just
Yeah.
grow this vision with you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much again. I feel led to like just share a little bit of light language. I think I'm just super
Oh,
excited and want to address the energy. Could all hosh na. Urufati urukatiwa lati ushian urupaha kush nanani urufaan. Ijurupa pagdama la iyo shawa katiwara. Tihuri atayu kurumpa paisa ishurupa la inurutika. Nihashi urupati la tayushi a nikatoshi manauru papapotia ukatiuro niya. Taliamo shi alai toko tayo totoru maha iyosu koto yomba. Urufa chi maha au chi likhao ti patay isudua. Nisi eto shi no katay shitu aha nyam. Just feeling it in my heart. Definitely third eye and solar plexus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Mm.
you. Thank
Thank
you,
you. That was
universe.
such
Thank
a
you, Becca. Yes. Oh.
gift. So I was like, actually, I didn't even ask for it. I was like, yes, I want my language.
Yeah, it was coming through. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Energy. Just grounding
Yes,
it. Oh,
yes.
thank you
Your
so much
energy is,
again.
oh, thank you. This is us being our divine unity, oneness. Like, I just laugh at these interactions because we know it's like, it's so funny playing this, but then also it's part of the experience.
Higher selves are like, there's like about time the connection happens, the momentum grows. And it's like, yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you though, Becca, for real. Thank you so much for your time and just taking the time out of your day and getting on live that one day. Like it's thank you. Thank you, Divine. Thank you.
Thank you for showing up. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And message me too. Give me
Yes.
updates coming through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will see you later.
Okay.
Have an amazing rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.